Joanne Liu with drillingcontractor.org, and joining me today is Anthony Zacniewski, HSE Director of Bandera Drilling. Anthony, thank you so much for joining me.
It's good to be here.
Great. Well, given your background as a state police officer and a roughneck, how has that influenced your role as an HSE Director?
Well, as a state police officer, I had the distinctive, it was my job to tell people when they were doing things wrong. Once I left being a state police officer and got into the oil field, there was several cases where my life could have been in jeopardy, my physical health. I was involved in several accidents, and I developed a passion for safety. So, from going from state police officer to roughneck, I wanted to move up into the safety part of the oil and gas industry. And with that state police background, I'm not afraid to go out there and tell a guy, hey, you're doing something wrong that's going to get you hurt or killed.
So, how would you describe your philosophy or passion for safety?
The passion, I've got a distinct passion for zero incidents in this industry. I love this industry. Of course, it's not where I started my career, but it's where I'll end my career. And the drive to keep people from getting hurt is at times it's overwhelming, because when you do have a bobble, I'm one of those ones that I take it personally. Even though I'm not out there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, when one of my guys gets hurt or one of Bandera's guys gets hurt, it's something I take personally. So the drive to prevent injuries is a constant, everyday passion.
So how does Bandera Drilling's own culture complement your passion for safety?
Well, I'm very fortunate to work for a man and a woman that they own their company themselves. They're not publicly owned. They don't have to answer to anybody but their own morals and their own things that they, how they feel about what's right and what's wrong. So working with somebody that, Ray developed a safety culture a long time ago. He wanted to be the small contractor that works for the major operators. And back in the 80s, the major operators, you had to have a safety culture before you could start. Well, once the safety culture started with Bandera Drilling, it was something that not only fed Ray's passion, but it became a culture of the culture that he wanted to do business in. Regardless if he's drilling for a major operator or drilling for a small independent, he wanted a safety culture within his company. You take that and you add my passion to where, I've got support from management to do the right thing. Just makes it that much more easy. You don't have to run it through any kind of bureaucracy to get an answer. If we've got an issue that we need to take care of, we don't have to call, 10,000 stakeholders and say this is what we're going to do. I would talk to one person. If he feels that it's right, then we do it. And the one thing that we do, is it's not rig specific. If we've got a safety issue, then it's company specific. If we change a policy on one rig, it changes on all the rigs. Of course, you've got the two different rigs. You've got the electric rigs and the double rigs. But if it's a safety policy, we implement it on all our drilling equipment.
Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for joining me and telling us a little bit more about yourself and Bandera Drilling.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. And thank you for joining me on drillingcontractor.org. You can read more about Anthony in the July-August issue of Drilling Contractor.